Hey there, back again for another update. So as you can see, we're moving along pretty nicely here. Those big bay doors have been removed. Concrete sill has been put down, and the siding and bricks have been removed. So we are ready for doors and the window. And most importantly, our framing inspection has passed. So we are now on to the next steps, which are electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. So that's pretty exciting, and hopefully get that started in the next couple days. So what I really want to talk about is the septic system, and it's been the biggest hurdle that we've had to go over in order to get our permit for our reno. Now, when you're applying for a building permit, they need to know more than just your floor plans. They need to know, what are your HVAC plans, where's the water coming from, and where's your sewage going. So once we had our drawings in hand, we hired Van Harten engineers and surveyors out of Guelph to determine, what kind of load we're going to add to the septic system. And they do that by calculating based on the number of bedrooms and the number of fixtures. So we have one bedroom, we have a kitchen, bathroom, and a laundry system. Now, really, the bedrooms is the big determining factor because it tells you how many occupants are there. So, I mean, if you had 3 bathrooms for whatever reason in a place like this, really, the number of people that live there are what determines the amount of waste that you're creating. So once we had that number in terms of liters per day, they add it to the existing house and their liters per day based on the exact same information. And then they check to see if the current septic system is adequate to support the new load. Now, we have a 1,400 gallon tank, and it's an advanced system, which means there's a tertiary part here. That's the advanced tank right there, and then a leaching bed that goes out back. Now, 1,400 gallons sounds like, huge, but as far as code goes, it's not adequate for what we're trying to do. So we had to make a decision: do we put a secondary system on, or do we just overhaul this current one? Now, a secondary system would be cheaper, but it would take up more of the land, and it limits what you can do with the land. So, where the leaching bed is there on the other side of these little bushes, you can't build any structures, you can't plant any deep-rooted plants, so trees and bushes and things like that, which, for future use of what we're doing here, really limits us. So we wanted to go with one big system. Now, once we decided that's what we're going to do, Van Harten came out, and if you can just see that little dark green patch right by my finger, they come and they take a soil sample, and they take that soil back to their lab, and they determine what is called percolation rate, or T rate, and that just basically tells you how fast is the runoff from the leaching bed going to percolate down into the soil and down to the aquifer. Now, unfortunately, in Alma, it's a lot of clay here, so our T rate wasn't very good, which is exactly why we have an advanced treatment system. That helps us reduce the amount of space that the leaching bed's going to take up. And now that we've decided, this is what we're going to do, and we know this, we got to get a design done. So we get our design done, we're going to take out this EcoFlow system, and we're going to put in a Waterloo biofilter system, which is great for a couple reasons. One, I think it's the best system out there, and two, it's a Guelph system, so it's local, and that means the support is local. Now, once we've gotten that far, we had to submit the new design with the building permit package. And then this is where it slows down, because you see the willow trees back there is actually, there's a creek back there, and it's floodplain management. So it's controlled by Grand River Conservation Authority, and they have to be part of the approval process of the septic system. So, I mean, that's great, it's necessary, but it added 6 weeks on top of everything. So when we go from load calculation, which took a week, to soil test, which took 2 weeks and about $1,000, to design, which took a few weeks and a few $1,000, and now we're going to add 6 more weeks on top of that. So in total, we're over 10 weeks, and we're a few $1,000 in before we, actually have anything. Now this is fine. This is kind of what needs to be done, but it was a bit of a shock in terms of the time frame. But that's what I'm here for, and that's why I'm making these videos, so that we can kind of learn this together, and going forward everybody has that information. And